Hello friends, I'm Winston in London with today's video growing Opuntia from pads. You're probably wondering what has happened to the seeds. The seeds approach normally work with most cacti, but unfortunately when using Opuntia it takes forever. And when I say forever, it takes 6-9 months, and then you probably end up with a few seeds. These are some Opuntia species which are growing in my greenhouse. Generally speaking, I have a two-centered approach to growing Opuntias. First, I cut the stems, or as we say sometimes, pads out, dry them out for a few days, and then put them into small pots. Once they're placed into the small pots with soil, I leave them for at least a couple of weeks to make sure they begin the process of rooting. Generally it goes okay. Every now and then you may end up with some rot. But as in this case, if you look at the two pots in front of you, one has smaller pads, which is barely rooting, and the other has a little longer time have rooted in such a way that they have little babies. First, I remove the pads very carefully with the aid of my card or pincers if you have them. And it's important to understand that these plants do have clutches or spines, and you must handle them very carefully. In my case, most times I use pinches of some sort, or in some cases, like today, I'm using card. 2 bits of card, which I put on both sides of the pads to make sure the spines don't get, or glotches don't get into my hands. Now, Opuntia quitensis is not a very popular Opuntia, and as you can see, has delicate flowers and will grow very easily if you let it. It's worth a try. You may have some difficulty finding it, but check out the nurseries, check out online, and you may come up with some. Now the pots, 7 of them are easily spread out in my kitchen. This is the first day of January 2021. Outside the weather is very cold. I'm talking here -degrees centigrade. So I'm trying something different. Tabletop in my kitchen would do for the moment. First, some soil inside the pots to make sure that the plants are ready to be potted. And very carefully, one by one, I take the plants, put them inside the pots, making sure they remain very much upright. Sometimes you have to make sure the potting mix, and I should mention my potting mix is always the same, a little bit of perlite, a little bit of multi-purpose, and a little bit of grit. Different kinds of grit exist. Pea gravel, I use pea gravel a lot, okay? Once I'm satisfied that the plants are in the pots in the right way, therefore I begin to firm around the plants, pressing gently to make sure the plants remain upright. If you look at them, 4 smaller plants, which has minimum roots, are covered with my potting soil in such a way that they remain upright. The next 3 plants need to be given the same treatment. Soil firmed all around, and of course potting mix, pea gravel, finishing off the topping in such a way that they are ready for the journey like most new plants. Normally I would give them some water, but because of the cold weather, I'll resist for at least a week or 2. If you look at this young plant in front of you in my greenhouse, the aim is to get them up and going like this. It's quite cold now, but I reckon that by springtime, as we approach the start of summer, these plants would be fine. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos about Opuntias, etc., subscribe to my channel. I'm Winston in London, thanking you.